Good morning, everyone. I thought I would share today a garden tour where I live here with my fiance and my future mother-in-law. I mostly garden over at my mom's, and I have been gardening for 30 years. And this year has been quite the challenge. When I moved in with my fiance, they mostly have a lot of shade. Well, it's mostly shade. There are some areas that have a little bit of sun, and so when I moved in, I didn't want to do a lot of garden beds. I did want to show you this. I did do this center. Well, my fiance did the blocks and everything, but I want to take you around to what I have built and he's helped me build, and just kind of some of the challenges that I have run through this year. I've never had to deal with partial shade or full shade. I've always had full sun. I've always had to water all the time. This year has just been very challenging for me. So I just wanted to give you a tour here where I live and kind of show you what I've been doing. So this is my favorite little spot. And I promise my videos are going to get better, and I want you to just bear with me. I'm going to start using the camera soon, but I've been using my phone, and so I will start showing my face and everything. But I hope that you like and subscribe and share, and don't forget to give me some comments so I can, try to improve, and let me know what y'all would like to see. So anyway, this is my favorite part of the yard right now. And the cicadas are just going crazy because I'm talking, and they will get louder and louder and louder over here because of all the oak trees. They're just so loud in the south. So anyway, they will go up and down when I talk. So my center here is I have a lot of the caladiums, I think, and I've got my fern. And so I'll just show you. I love the caladiums. I think that's what they call them, caladiums. I always say them wrong. But I love these because they're a bulb. And I believe I left them in these pots because I'm going to have to dig them up and bring them in. They won't make it after, I think, 40 degrees. So anyway, that's why I have these in the pots. I wanted to put them in a bed, but I was afraid to. And I have my beautiful fern here in the center. And so I've got, I think these are pink hearts or purple hearts, something like that. I just bought these, and I bought just one little small twig. And they're already starting to spread. I bought 2 of them. And they're loving this part of my yard. Now, this area gets a little bit of morning sun. I think you can see it now. And then a little bit of afternoon sun, but it's mostly shade. So I started this circle. I have composted in here and laid leaves and everything. I have no problem with leaves. There's plenty of leaves around here. So anyway, when I composted, I had a potato come up. Don't know if I'm going to get any potatoes, but anyway, the potatoes come up through my composting place. So I just wanted to show you. I love my caladiums. And last year I had a flower in here, and so that has stayed in this pot here. That's why that's there. I didn't plant that there. So anyway, I come around now. I love these little strawberry pots, but with everything stays dry, and I had bought some strawberries to put in my strawberry pots, and they died. They didn't make it. So I thought herbs like things dry, so I had been putting my herbs in the strawberry pots, and they love it. Now, this sage is doing okay in the partial shade. Now, most of my sage is in the more fuller sun. I have a little bit of lemon balm here that I brought over. Most of my herbs are at my mom's, because I used to live with her, and I lived over there for like 15 years. I tried to put some nasturtiums. I've never tried to grow nasturtiums. These have done poorly. But my herbs have done quite well in the partial shade. Now I've got some peppermint here that I propagated not long ago, and it loves partial shade. I always thought all herbs had to be in full sun, but they don't. My mints, this is some spearmint. And you can tell the leaves are different. So there's the peppermint and the spearmint. So I have all these in these little clay pots that I pick up. Now this, and I know I've done a video on impatiens. This is one that I propagated. And I know I'll show you that the white flowers always get crowded out. So this one, the white one, says I'm not being pushed out of the pot. Almost every pot that I have, the white one gets crowded out. So this one I did propagate, and this white one is just loving this area. They love the shade. I've never grown impatiens, but over here at my fiance's, I think this is what I'm going to have to do. So, and this pot, now, and you know, I love strawberry pots. The herbs love it. This is some lovage. And then I think, let's see, I got some more mint in here, some peppermint that I added. And so most of them did well. Now I'm going to try, I bought me some lettuce. It's a little early to start planting lettuce. I got, what kind of did? It's kind of some red leafy lettuce and butter crunch. So I'm gonna try to plant this in this circle, some of it, and then I'm gonna take the rest to my mom's. And so I'll give you an update. And then I bought several ferns that were distressed. I bought, I think, 3. Because normally ferns are about $12 at Lowe's. So I bought this one. I'll take you over there. I don't know if you can see my fern area. And I have these other ferns here. Well, I bought 3 ferns. I did not know that you could separate ferns out. So I had my biggest fern, and they were all crowded. So the little babies I took and just put them in here. And they're coming out. Now, these, I don't think, you know, they're not going to make it over the winter. But I have some in the pots that I will show you. And I will dig these up, or either the ones I have in the pots, bring them in the house. So I'll still have some ferns, and I won't have to buy ferns again. So, I showed you the big picture of my circle. Now, what I'm going to do, it's going to take me a couple of years. I'm going to do a big circle. Now, I started, I've got like a half moon here. And then I'm going to do a half moon on the other side. I'm going to do like another circle. So, I had bought some Sweet Williams. I've always had these in full sun. Now, they're doing okay on this end. I had bought them and put them in a pot, and they were getting overcrowded, so I moved them. And sometimes you might put something one place and it don't work, and you might have to move it. And that's what I did. I had them in a pot with something else, and I bought a plant, and it started overcrowding my Sweet Williams, so I had to move them. So they're doing quite well over here. That they're surviving. And my Sweet Williams, when they start, I had talked about deadheading. I always pinch them off and pinch them off there. I'll throw it back to the earth. The Sweet Williams, I think they're an annual or they're not a perennial, but I've had Sweet Williams that lasted several years because I had them in a cement planter at my mom's. But I take and, you know, snip the heads off, and it prolongs the life of the flower. Now, I've never grown nasturtiums. Now, these didn't do well. These were in partial shade. I didn't have a place to plant them, and I had some others, but I have one little bud, and I had some nasturtiums that are bigger, but no flowers. No, these, these peppers didn't do well. I just didn't have a place to plant them. Now, I've composted in place all through here. I just have not planted anything. I had showed you, I had propagated some other impatiens, and they're starting to bloom. some of them. I got to water this morning, but I wanted to do my video first. Now I compost in place now. This is crazy. I got a tomato coming up. And all these little, that's what happens when you compost in place. I had dug some of them up. I'll show you what I did. I think these are tomatoes. I'll show you. I don't know if I'll get any more tomatoes, but I just like growing things. Sometimes I get bored. Now this area here, this is kind of like my home area, the little Buddhist area. Because my fiance loves statues, so he loves cement. And so we have, I think this is Kuan Lin, the mother goddess in Hindu. Don't get mad if I'm wrong. She's a mother goddess. I know I have a friend that loves her, so I know about Kuan Lin. I know she's a mother goddess. Have my little peacock, the metal peacock that my second mama gave me. I just call her Mama too. Most of the time I just call her Mama. And then we have some hostas here that she planted. I've got to work on this area. She kind of gave me this area to work on. So have a sun here that I love. I got some other little Buddhist statues. We bought these and one lost his head. So anyway, I have my other ferns. I had bought 3 and I separated them out. So I got a little baby plant here. And this one's doing okay. And I'm going to bring him inside. Now this, I call it Wandering Jew. I had bought these little pieces, and I don't have a place that I can hang a plant, so it is loving this shade area. I bought this plant stand, and I just kind of put this out here because I have 2 places that I work. I work at my mom's, and then I work here, so I don't have time enough to do everything. So I picked up this plant stand, I don't know, $5. So I don't care if it's outside. And I put this fern in it. I've got it sitting in a pot, I think. So it's got good drainage, and this one's doing well. And then, now, I was running out of pots. And so, I thought, why go buy a $10 pot? I've got plenty of baskets, so I put this one in the basket, and it's doing well. I had some of that cocoa core. I lined it with that, and it's loving it. $1 for the basket, $1 for the cocoa core, and then I had a pot. Now this one's not doing so well. It was just a little piece. So there's Sun Goddess and Dog Neighbor Barking. Now this one I haven't planted yet, and I'm loving this one. Loving this one. I'm gonna plant him. I'm gonna put him in a pot so I can bring him in the house. That's another little fern that I got. I'm gonna plant him, and then just some other little pieces. They are starting to come out. So I didn't know ferns would do this. So this is my first year of growing ferns, and my first year of growing impatiens. So after 30 years, this is something that I learned. So you'll have to excuse the mess. This is kind of the grilling area. And here, there's so many leaves. I've cleaned this up 3 or 4 times. I can't keep it clean. So I had bought this little plant at the flea market from a lady I know, and it looked so pitiful. It was so distressed. It had the Mother Jew, Wonder Jew, and this plant, and I don't know what it is, but it's similar type of plant. It was root brown and everything, so I gave it some love, and I took the other plant you've seen how great it's doing. I took these pieces, took some of them pieces out and put it in that one pot. And I took these and took these out and put these out in the other pot. So they're loving the shade. They love it. They love it, love it, love it. Oh, that one fell off. So I guess I'm putting this in some water. So anyway, I guess you can't touch that much. That one, all this little area, they love the shade. So I'm going to come back around. You just have to see my mess. And sometime, I know some people show videos. Everything's just wonderful. Well, this is sometime, things just get messy. So we're going to have a walkway. So we've started working on it. And sometimes I just have to wait till I have the money. Lowe's had these blocks for like $1 a piece. And we were buying these blocks. And we're trying to do it. So, his mother has to use a walker, so that way we got a nice wide walkway and she can walk through the garden when we get it all fixed. So anyway, we picked this up from my little girl. We got her at a yard sale. And see, we pick up pieces when we go yard selling. We don't buy a lot of stuff new. So we got her the other week. Go back, and my flamingos. I have flamingos at my mom's, and I have flamingos everywhere. So, now this was already built when I moved here, the wall. And I brought some pieces. Let's see, now my fiance loves gnomes. But now this one, and this one, these people gave to us. They said, we don't want them, take it. So we did. So I have my little frog I brought from home. Now I'm starting some mint here that I dug up from my bed at the house because God knows I have enough of it. I was looking kind of bad. And there's oak trees everywhere in this. But anyway, it's coming back out. The mints, you just have to be patient. They will come back out. Have a little bit of root. And see, they're coming back out. It's coming out. So, try not to josh you all around. So, and I have these my little rabbits. And I can show you, I have other mints here in this pot. And my frog. Welcome to my pad. And then that. Now, I meant to do, I kind of got sidetracked, and I do that every once in a while. So, I'm going to show you this, and then we'll come back around. So, I bought this bird cage. And I've always wanted to do ivy with the bird cage. So I have it in a pot. And the ivy looked kind of pitiful when I first started. Sorry. This spring. But it's turned out quite nice. It was kind of cool in the bird cage. And I'll have to bring that in. So we got gargoyles everywhere too. My fiance loves gargoyles. So I have some more mint. It loves the shade. My two little frogs, and the squirrels are bad here, and they always are knocking my frogs everywhere. My two little frogs. There's another impatient I forgot to show you. Now, this is plants I bought. Now, see, this is another example. The white is getting overcrowded by the colored one. Now, the other pot, the white said, no, you're not doing that to me. But this one, the colored one is, it's winning. So my other plants are peeking out over the fence, which is kind of cool. Now I have this little rabbit that I picked up somebody gave me. I had some time in it. It was doing cool, but it's kind of... Oh, I heard the hummingbird, and he kind of left. I'm yakking. So I have this little hummingbird feeder. The hummingbirds love it. Now this... I have this water fountain. My fiance said you can make a planter out of it. So, kind of just been testing what to do. And if you can see, you'll have to excuse, this area is kind of messy. We're still working on it. Anyway, if you look, one side has better growth than the other. Because the sun comes in better on this side. So anyway... early in the spring, I had some lettuce. The lettuce did okay here because it liked the shade. So I had some marigolds here. And let's see, these are some mums that I propagated. So I didn't know if they would do okay. But see, this mum is doing better than the other mum. And it's because of the light. And I have rocks everywhere because the squirrels love to dig in here. So I have... Here I call it thrift, the creeping pollocks. And these are the, Mine just went blank. I have them all over at my mom's. Aramis. And then now my thyme loves the shade. It smells so good. It loves the shade. And I didn't know that. So I have that. But some of this was already here when I moved in. So it's still working. I'm working on it. See back here, it looks pitiful. And you can see my failures. I'll admit it. I fail. Over here, horrible. Looks horrible. So there's no sun over here. But now the lettuce loves it. Now I got to plant some lettuce. And I might plant my lettuce over here. I don't know. Some more lettuce later on. The nasturtiums, they're struggling. My other thrift is struggling. So this was the other thrift. I had it in the top. And when it rained early in July, it just got drowned. And it's trying, so I moved it. So that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you have to move plants. They don't make it. So when I moved in, and my fiance said, you can use this. So I compost in place. So early, I think it was fall last year, I had mounded up leaves. I put some rocks in the bottom because there's no drainage here. So I put rocks in the bottom. I did, my vegetables, my kitchen scraps as I call it, the vegetables, no cheese, no dairy, no meat. Put that in there and topped it off with a little bit of dirt and some leaves. Keep that moist. So I wound up with some dirt, compost. So I needed it the other week. So I kind of dug it out and took all that. So now I'm starting over. So this will sit probably for the fall. I don't know if I'll plant there or not. Okay, now this is kind of where I work. And then again, for 20 years, I'm used to having a garden shed. I'm used to living in the country. This country girl has moved to the city. So guess what? In the city, you don't have a garden shed. I don't have a garden shed my daddy built me. So now, this was something, there used to be a pool where I was standing when I started showing you. They had that filled in. So this is where this bar come from. So I'm using the bar as my little garden shed kind of thing. Even though it's outside, I have all my pots and everything in here for me to work. My fiance let me have that. There's his gargoyles, he's painted. It's just kind of messy back here. I have some buckets out because to catch rainwater. This I had bought some kind of, it's some kind of a cacti thing. I don't know what it is. Just forgive me. I hung some wind chimes here to make it pretty. So anyway, this is the messy area. So there's all these blocks were here. My fiance wants to move, so I took them blocks and built my circle. So here, now he loves these columns, and he takes these columns and puts bowling balls on top. That's him. So this is kind of our area, and the birds and the squirrels area. So, because I can't grow anything here, I tried. So he's building a bridge. We're moving the path around. Gonna have the bridge and moving the path up here. Now in the spring, I think these were like tea roses. They were really pretty. We're using, let's see, have that for some little birds. The birds love this. Oh, my battery's running low. Oh Lord, I hope I don't lose my video. So here, bird bass. I have my bird feeder, so I have this that I look at. And we live we have a whole side of the house where I live with my fiance. So there goes a little squirrel. And I have my feeders that